Hey guys, Chess Parts Online, right here. Today I'm going to talk about the uh, lower control arms. These are 1 inch shorter lower control arms for Crown Vic, and these are made for airbags, as you can probably tell by the airbag plate on there. Okay, they have multiple holes, so you can move your bag in or out depending on what bag you use and what vehicle type you put it on. Just gives you a little bit more versatility there. Okay. Just like the rest of our Crown Vic arms, these use the factory style ball joint. It's like that one right there. I showed you in some other videos. It's like that one. Okay. Basically comes in from the bottom, as we talked about. The other thing that I talked about before was once you press that up through the bottom, yes, it does press into, and as we talked about in the previous video, you want to use some anti-seize in there and some anti-seize on the ball joint. The other tip for ball joint pressing in is put those in the freezer for about 3 hours, because they'll shrink just a little bit and they'll go in easier. Once that ball joint's pressed in, you can put the spacer on top, and then the snap ring goes on top of that. Okay. Now, as we talked about, all the parts that come with these are basically stainless parts. You got 2 washers that go on the end of here, and you got a bolt that goes here. These do not have the strut mount, obviously, but they do have the same poly bushings and the same sleeves and everything going there. And you're asking why these look different on the ends, probably you're thinking. Okay, because on a back vehicle, you want it to lay completely out most of the time. You want the frame to lay on the ground. Okay, now to do that with my regular airbag arms, that puts the arm way up at a severe angle like that when you try to lay it out. And what we ended up happening was when the tube goes straight into there, instead of it's dropped on this one. See how much dropped it is to the bottom, and the mount there is raised, and the front, the ball joint angle is tilted down a little bit. That's all to clear where this fits into the aluminum cross member. When that goes up like that on the way they were before, this was hitting the side and the top of the aluminum cross member, and over here, most likely to hit the frame. It did on a 73 to 79 F100. So I raised the mount up here, raised this up in relation to the rest of the arm, and I tilted the ball joint angle down a little bit. As you can see, it's kind of hard to tell from there, but it's tilted down about 5 degrees, 5 or 6, I believe. Anyways, that's to get you better ball joint angle when you're laid out, so your ball joint doesn't bind. And all that right there is to clear the arm. I did have to move. This used to be at a different angle from here. It used to go right into the middle of this and come along here, and they were touching here on the side too, as it goes all the way up. So I used a different angle here and bring this all the way over to this side to clear that aluminum cross member right there on that side. Okay, so that's the only difference. The other thing I wanted to tell you about these is there's another version of these that I haven't made yet, but if you've seen the factory strut arms, you've seen that I'm making an A-shaped version. Okay, and that's basically where it has another bushing like this, similar to that one. This is smaller than that one, but it's right over here. Okay, it's in line with the other one, but it's over here. Okay, so basically you have what would be sort of like a conventional A-shaped arm. Now you do have this curve because the factory Crown Vic requires it, because as you turn, your brakes and everything are right in here, tires right up against here. Okay, but it eliminates that odd bushing that's back here on the frame with one that goes right there. Now I can put that bushing on any of the versions of Crown Vic arms that I make. The strut version, strut coilover version, the same version, in stock length or 1 inch shorter. Obviously on this one in stock length or 1 inch shorter, And as we talked about earlier, the wide version where the coilover fits all the way down inside of it, that version too. I just haven't made a lot of those with that bushing yet. If you do buy those, remember you're going to have to make tabs to come up from there to the frame yourself, depending on what you're putting it on. I'm probably going to sell some generic tabs that you can cut and put on your frame right there. But and they will have a slotted hole so you can adjust them in and out, just like the bottom of this adjusts in and out on the aluminum crossmember. And yes, these also come with the cam washers. And there's something else I was going to tell you about the cam washers. Okay. I'll get to that in a second. Okay. This version right here, if it comes with the tabs, I'll eventually have tabs that I will send with these when I make these. But as for now, if you order those, you'll have to make those yourself. I need to go ahead and get some generic tabs cut so I can start sending those with them right away. And if I do that today, I could probably have some 5 to 7 days. I'll have some tabs that I can send with those. You will have to mod the tabs to fit whatever you're putting it on. But that'll make it a lot easier if you want to get rid of that arm at the back, make it nicer, cleaner install. And those will come with a poly bushings that go inside these, and they will come with a bolt to go through them too, and washers, whatever. And since it will be a slotted hole, it will have a washer sort of like that it rides on. Basically, it'll be a 2 1/4 diameter, and yeah, I've already got those. I think they're right in here. Yeah, something like that. Stainless. They're all stainless, so you don't have to worry about rusting or anything. You'll have 2 washers to go inside it, and you put your tabs. Cut the tabs going in the frame. Anyways, that's a version I just need to make some examples of and put up on the website. But you can order those anytime. If you order this arm just like this, and you want that version, just tell me, and I'll just change it on the order. It's not going to be an additional cost. It'll be the same price. So, the thing I was going to tell you about the cam washer here. If you are going with adjustable upper arms, okay. Now the adjustable upper arms have a threaded thing like this on this with a jam nut. Jam nut looks like that right there. Goes on there, and all the way adjusted in. This arm is the either if you order it as stock length, it'll be stock length all the way in, or if you order them shorter, it'll be 1 inch shorter with this screwed all the way in with the jam nut against the control arm. Okay, and what that does is there's all your adjustment that you need right there on the like for your caster and camber. So what you can do is you can adjust on the slotted hole on the frame. Now, when you turn this one way on the frame, you're going to see the end of that slotted hole. But when you turn it the other way, you're going to see some aluminum on the inside that you need to ream out on the aluminum crossmember. But what you can do is you can adjust this to where this bushing is all the way in. In other words, all the way in toward the inside of the car. Okay, that gives you another half an inch. That gives you another half an inch of shorter. So that's like making these arms 1.5 inches shorter. And then you take your adjustment on your uppers and adjust them all the way in, and get your caster camber like you want it, set it, and then take it to your alignment guy to get it dialed in exactly. So basically what you're doing there is you're actually getting 1.5 inches or shorter by buying just 1 inch shorter arms. And as you probably know, these come with the arms too. So that's an added bonus that people hadn't really talked about, and we hadn't really discussed it or anything. We hadn't talked about it. But if you realize it, there's your, if you got, as I said, if you got the adjustable upper arms, you can do all your adjustment right there. You don't have to do the lowers. You don't have to, I mean, you could set them directly in the middle with the factory deal that goes through there, the factory bolt, just like Ford did, and not adjust them at all. Or you can use the cam washers, adjust them all the way in and get that extra in. Now, or you can adjust them out if you want to. If you want to bring the bottom of the wheel out. Most people are going to adjust them in and get more travel there. Okay, so again, 1 inch shorter air ride Crown Vic arms right there. Okay, now if you have any other questions about these, just let me know. If you see something odd on this one, this space, this brace is opposite. Now these braces, they got more curved to one side. I've got these. One of these has been flipped over. See, they're not opposite of each other. That should have been flipped over. I just noticed that myself. It makes me look like an idiot putting it together like that. But sometimes stuff like that happens on the shop floor. I probably need to make on the jig. I need to put a stop that holds that where it only fits one way. And that's what I'm going to have to do, I guess. Anyways, have any questions about this? Post them in the comments below. Message me, email me, and I'll get right back to you as quick as I can. Peace.